Hello folks, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about this bad boy here. And this lens is the Canon 16-35 2.8 first version that came out in 2001, I believe. And it basically was basically 7 years, so produced for 7 years, so until 6 years, until 2007. And then the second version came, and then eventually the third version came, which is the one that then ended up the era of the EF 16-35 2.8 section, because then they passed to RF. And I decided to go for this one because it was amazing and it was crazy affordable. It was 300 euros I bought it for, and the adapter was like 150 euros. So the whole package was basically 450 euros about, more or less. So it's a crazy deal for this type of lens. And it has crazy good optics and a little bit of storyline. Canon decided to go with this lens after basically their previous version, which it was the 70-35, I believe, no, 17-40, I think it was. And then they decided to go a little bit wider and compact and everything, and they decided to come out with this lens. And oh boy, it was probably one of the best purchases I have ever had or ever made, because it has made me over 20 times more the worth of this lens and this adapter. And the adapter is basically the Viltrox adapter, EF-to-L adapter. You have like the Pro version that costs about between 100 and let's say 70 or more. I went with this one because it's less bulky and everything, but for sure in the future I will purchase this version when I will eventually purchase my second L mount of camera, which I believe is going to be most probably the S1H Mark II. That I have no clue when it's coming, but I hope it comes soon because I want to get my hand on it. But yeah, and basically what are the features that the lens have? So it has a really durable plastic, and I have to say it's a really high quality plastic. It has a 77mm thread here. Then it has a little bit of the barrel is a little bit coming out, but not too much. But they have done it so that you can actually put on filters and everything, because as you can see there is a little bit of an extension out here, so that's really great. Then it has a AF to manual focusing switch, which is quite great. And then they have this little kind of screen here. It's an analog screen, so non-digital is an analog screen where you can basically see your manual focus, basically numbers. And I have to say it's pretty smooth. It's really smooth, and even the focusing, as you can see, it's one of my favorite part about this lens, that it basically, it's an internal zoom, and it's advised to have a UV filter in front of it. I just don't like UV filters, so I would just risk it, and that's it. I don't know, I just not a big lover of having another pair of glass in front of my lens. And if I have to put an ND filter, then I have a second glass. So I don't know, I just don't love it. So I used to have one. When I purchased it, I just took it away, throw it, and that's it. End of the story. And yeah, it's fully weather sealed, so that's another really good plus for this, because then in pair with the Lumix S5IIX, this is a really good thing, because weather sealed and weather sealed, perfect pair, how it actually looks with it. Yeah, you see here. This is actually really good. You know, this camera weighs 635 grams, so it's not that heavy, and with the adapter, I think around 700. So it's actually pretty good. You can go the whole day with this. I've shot events and left it on the gimbal a whole day, and it was just so good. And that's another really plus point for this lens, because you can use it on a gimbal because it has that internal zoom, and it's basically, I will say, probably 30 degree to go from 16 to 35. Basically it's tuck. So it's pretty good on that behalf. And just to repeat a little bit myself, what I really love about this lens is that it's a 2.8 lens, so it's really amazing. Neither Sigma, neither Lumix has a 16 to 35 2.8. Sigma has a 16 to 28 2.8, and then the 28 to 70 2.8, and then Lumix has the F4 version, which is even a little bit bulkier and heavier, which I would love to test it. If Lumix would like to send me one and get to test it, why not? And then another thing that I really love about this camera is the fact that it's a wide to a standard telephoto lens. So the widest, the 16, is kind of the best of the best, because you don't have that crazy distortion. And then you have the 35, which is kind of the standard kind of framing that videographers like. And 35 is actually my favorite focal length, so it's really good that I get to have it here and don't need to really buy another 35. The other thing I really love of this is basically the internal zoom. As I said earlier, the fact that this is an internal zoom, so it doesn't extend, it's really good. So it's good to balancing, it's good for the weather sealing and so on. So it's really good. But one tip, if you want to use this during a bad day, I would suggest you to have a UV filter or an ND filter in front, because there is no protection in front of the lens here. So if anything gets in, it could maybe get from here, but as they said, it's weather sealed, so there is probably some rubber gathered somewhere inside or something like that, I don't know. So yeah. And what many people will probably ask is autofocus, how it is for autofocus. Well, for me, it's amazing. I have never had issues with the autofocus of this lens, and as you will see probably on the screen now, there are going to be a bunch of videos and images now passing through. For example, this here from the wedding, there was literally like a lot of people in the background. There is my second camera from one of my colleagues on the background, and it's just staying where I want it to stay. Then there is like these other videos where there are like dancers dancing with other dancers. The autofocus, as you can see, is sticky, is there, is not changing. So that is a really good testing for this. And this has been the lens I've been using for all my YouTube videos in eye detect autofocus. And as you can see, of course, now I'm filming in my DJI, DJI Pocket 3, because I have this one here. So, but in all my other videos, I've been filming with this lens. So you can even see that the color rendition, it's just beautiful, just amazing. So who is this lens for? This lens is mostly for everyone, right? So for documentary style shooting, to film shooting, to any person. So it's made principally or mainly for photojournalistic event and weddings, but you can use it for everything that you feel you want to use it for. There is no limitation for a 16 to a 35 2.8 lens, as we all know. It's probably the most versatile and the most used and bought first lenses from everyone in any manufacturer, just because of the fact that it's able to do most of the widest to the standard zoom. So it's pretty amazing, and I'm pretty happy that there is this. But I hope Lumix will do a first party 16 to 35 2.8 version, and or Sigma could do it too, and have kind of a same form factor as this one has, with maybe a custom button. And I don't really have any bad thing to say about this lens, because as I said, it's just magnificent. It's just beautiful lens, and it's a 24 to 23 years old lens, and it still performs pretty good, I have to say. So while I was editing, I noticed that I forgot about the IBIS test. So now let's go see the IBIS test, and then you can use that as an autofocus test too, even though I've showed it earlier, or I will show it later, depending on which point this video or this part of the video will be placed. So yeah, let's go back into the video. And this is how it is with the normal stabilization on. And yeah, so the normal IBIS, you can see there is no crop in or no other crop. It's only the camera IBIS in the off mode, so there is only like a body and nothing. So it's only probably active, so there is no electronic or anything like that. So yeah, you can probably vlog with this and get everything, because it's pretty steady. Let's see, I can walk out of the, I can walk upstairs. Is it like, is it moving a lot? How it is? So you can probably just get away with the IBIS only, without activating the standard mode or the high. So yeah. So now I'm actually using the 16 to 35 2.8 at 2.8, and I'm actually recording hand holding. I have like the arm full straight out, and yeah, how does it look like? And now it's actually on standard mode, the IBIS. So I don't know if you have any corner wobbling as you know, the wider lenses will have, because this IBIS basically work effectively from 20 millimeters onwards. But yeah, I would never probably vlog with this, just because it's, I don't know, I just find it to be a little bit heavier on the arms. Probably on the whole day vlogging like this, you will hurt yourself. But you can literally just like switch it on high if you need a higher mode. So let's switch the IBIS on high and see how it looks like. So as you can see, it comes in a little bit further, but yeah, how it is. It is pretty good. Probably eliminate the corner stuff. Now let me cross the road and go back to the office. But hey, I hope everything looks good. Damn, my arms are already tired. But yeah, do you see any wobbly in the corners? And yeah, you can use it for vlogging. Sure, you have to do probably a lot of trainings and have pretty beefy hands, but it's quite good. It's quite nice as a lens, I have to say. And yeah, let's go back to the review. Thank you for sticking here and to hear me blubbering. Share your comment down below on what you think, and if you would like me to test even more, and what would you like to see in next videos about this lens, or whatever you want. I'm trying to contact some manufacturers to get in some manual lenses or some lenses in general, And in the next few months, I'm going to purchase myself some Mikey or Meke or Mieke, however the brand is called. They have these beautiful lenses. They have the 35 f2. They have the 55 Mikey Pro lens, 1.8, and then they have the 50 f1.8, and they have the 85 1.8. Then the one that I will really love to try in the future, which is the 85 Mikey Pro lens 1.4. But this will be plans for the next year's mostly videos. So yeah, thank you guys for always being supportive of my channel. Be just polite in the comments. Don't argue or don't share really unnecessary comments. If you are having bad days, just don't comment. Put even a dislike if you want, but don't really put unnecessary comments because they are just unnecessary, and it's nice to have a good vibe for everyone and not like bad vibes. That's my philosophy. Good vibes is always better than bad vibes. And that's be it. Hope you're taking good care of yourself, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.